right, Drag Week 2023, Part 3, the last part of the series, the last 2 days of Drag Week 2023. This video starts out with our day at the House of Hook. You'll see in this video, on this day we made 2 passes. We came up light the first pass. It was a great pass, enough to just get on the road. One thing about Drag Week that you have to think about is you have 4 different tracks, 4 different sets of scales. The scales are super finicky. They were honestly a real pain for us the entire week. The first day we came up way light, and the scales were so off for everybody on day 1 that they just basically voided the numbers for that day because so many people are coming up with crazy weights all over the place. We made the first pass at the House of Hook and came up at 3196. You have to be 3,200 pounds for street race small block NA. That's the minimum weight. So I know the car is well over 3,200 the way it sat, but that's just the variables that you play with the scales. And so we had to make 2 that day. And yeah, so here it is, day 4 and 5 of Drag Week 2023. So the reason we had to make 2 passes at the House of Hook was that I came up 4 pounds light on the scale. My class is 3,200 pounds with the driver. So we made 2, stayed for a little while, tried to help Frank out with his brakes. You can see Mark heavily concentrated here, trying to figure out, which way things go. There's Frank's wheel from where the caliper hit it. So yeah, that just being 4 pounds light, I wasn't going to hand that slip in at 3,196 pounds. If the weight is 3,200, that's where you got to be. So we threw some luggage in the back of the car, and our leaf blower that cools the clutch down. We also threw that in the trunk, and that was enough to, I think, get us up to 3,210. So we got on the road and were able to hand everything in 100% legal and made it to the last hotel. And it's always nice when you can get back to the hotel when it's still light out and you were able to get a nice meal. Little celebration dinner at Texas Roadhouse for finishing up the drive, and then some hotel beers in the parking lot, and back at it the next day. Headed back to Darlington, South Carolina. Day 5, made it back to the track. Guys still thrashing. We're ready to go. Race around noon. And hopefully lock up the win here. Frank's doing brakes. Rick's putting the transmission in his, so it's been a good week. Hey, I like your stickers.
Thanks.
That was such an original idea.
I thought so.
Yeah. It's okay. I still like you even though you copied me.
That's okay, because I don't like you.
Oh.
No!
So that pass did not go as planned. That was like an 1170, I think. It was enough to seal the win up, but wanted to go out and make another one. I short shifted second and glazed the clutch disc, so tried to cool it down as much as we could, and we got back out there, made another pass. Unfortunately, could only squeak like a 10-20 out of it. The clutch slipped for well over a second on the 3 to 4 gear shift. I didn't think it was even going to catch. So that ended our week. It was enough to seal up the win, but I was not able to get 5 single-digit passes. That's something that I still have not done on drag week. Hopefully this year in 2025 I can do a little better than that. So you could hear how bad the clutch was laboring on that one. At the end of the day, when I handed my time slip in, Keith came over with his big Swedish engine displacement checker and gave me one of the biggest honors of drag week, which is getting your engine pumped and having to prove that you're under 430 cubic inches in the small block NA classes. So that was pretty awesome to be able to go through that and get that impound sticker. So we got the car all loaded up, went to the award ceremony, got the trophies, got a picture with the man, Mike Galimi, and got home in time to be able to show the kids the new trophy. This is Hot Rod Drag Week 2023 Champion Street Race Small Block Naturally Aspirated.
You won.
I won. You guys are the best. So that's Drag Week 2023. That's a wrap on the video. It was fun to go back and finally edit this thing down. And this year I hope to go back and get that at least a single digit pass every day. And, you know, I'd like to thank a bunch of people for this. If I miss anybody, I apologize in advance. But first off, my wife, for all of her support. We have lots of help from my family, from my mom and my mother-in-law especially. You know, watching the kids, these events happen while my wife is at school. teaching. I really appreciate that support. My co-driver, Tim, couldn't have done this without him. He did an amazing job all week. Helped me get the car loaded up beforehand and came up with the idea of how to attach the trailer down to my open trailer. So I appreciate that and appreciate him taking a week away from work and his business and his family. I can't thank him enough for coming along with me. Some companies I'd like to thank start with Dart Blocks. You cannot have a fast small block Ford without using some kind of aftermarket block, and I like Dart the best. CP pistons, awesome stuff. You get the pistons out of the box and they measure perfect. They look like jewelry. Total Seal rings. Kevin and the guys at Total Seal are always there to pick up the phone, and I've learned a lot from those guys about oil control, and how to get the engine sealed up correctly. And I actually want to make a separate video about some of the things I've learned about oil with the car post drag week, because we were down a little bit on mile per hour, and there were a couple things I did to get that mile per hour back, and talking to Kevin and bouncing some ideas off of him was what made all that possible. Higgins race heads, the cylinder heads and the intake manifold on this combination, hands down, are the best parts that I've ever used, and I could not do this stuff without the Higgins heads. There are other cylinder heads, that you could do this with, but they're nowhere near the same price. And I did drag week this year 100% on 93 octane with a 13.7 to 1 compression ratio engine, which most people, I won't say most people, but there are a select few people that do not believe that's possible, which is fine. I tell my kids all the time, like, if you can't say that you can't do something, you can say you haven't done it yet. So those people, they can say that you can't do it, but they just haven't done it yet. So that's that. Flowtech induction. The camshaft in the car is pretty conservative, in my opinion, and it's that way for a reason. And Ed's stuff has been very good, and I haven't really had to even touch the valve lash or anything on this combination. It does not beat up on parts. Valve train all looks brand new. I check everything religiously still, just out of habit, but there's almost no reason to even check it with the Flowtech stuff, the way the valve train is set up, with the spring package we're using, with the retainers we're using. I mean, everything was really gone through with a fine-tooth comb by Ed and blessed before we put everything together, and the results there speak for themselves. Holley EFI, I've had Holley on the car since 2013, way back to V2, and it's been just an excellent piece of hardware and software. You get constant updates with the Holley, and Doug and Rick are always at every drag week ready to help out. You bring your laptop over, and Doug will sit down with you and take as much time as you need to explain maybe any issues you're having, or if there's just something that you want to learn a little bit more about. I mean, those guys, they're the best. MAF Racing, Tim Flanders. I run, his tubular bumper support up front, and just in general, Tim has been a really good friend of mine and always there to bounce ideas about suspension tuning or different strategies on the car for fueling, timing, all of it. We've talked about every little detail on this car, just like front to back, and I think that Tim knows the car, as well or better than I do. So I appreciate all his help over the years. Last, most definitely least, Mark Cicino and Greg Hurlbutt. I think that's his last name. Those dudes, every time we go out, we have a blast. And I really wouldn't want to tag along with anybody else. In Drag Week in 2013, he was like, hey, you want to ride with us? And I was like, yep. And he was like, all right, well, you're not going to make a second pass today. It's Monday, so I'm leaving. And if you want to come, then get out of the staging lanes. And we did. And the rest is history. So really appreciate, all the friends that I've made on Drag Week and all the memories, and look forward to making more. I'm getting some more videos out for the changes I made for 2025. Also, there were some things in 2024 I learned about the car that I could probably put something together and go over on that. The way that my video schedule's been going, it'd probably take me till 2027 to get out 2024 stuff. So, anywho, if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one.